I'm Barry Scannell. I'm the parish priest of St Mary of the Angels, and I have been since 2010. St Mary of the Angels is a church that the Marists have been ministering in since 1875, so really right from the beginning of the parish here in central Wellington. There's great support for St Mary of the Angels because so many people, it means so much to so many people. So many significant occasions have happened for many, many generations of Wellington and New Zealand families. Our mission statement really is that we are an oasis in the middle of a busy city. People in the city, not Catholic, who often would come to St Mary of the Angels at the beginning of the day, just for a quiet few minutes, maybe just to light a candle, which is well known to St Mary of the Angels, and just to have a time of silence and solitude before the beginning of the day. Stage one is mainly the foundational work, so it will have all the work underneath the floor slab, the piles, and there's 2 shear walls that we'll be putting in to help the longitudinal strength of the building. And so everything below the floor and the shear walls will be contained in the first stage. The second stage then will involve the columns, replacing the columns, and also replacing the portals and the roof structure.
I'm a site manager for LT McGuinness. This is a seismic strengthening job, and so my role is to organise activities on site and make sure the guys are on task and just generally see that things on site are happening as they should. I like everything about construction, to be honest. I love the people that you meet, I love the team feel and working as a team, and I particularly like earthquake engineering and strengthening buildings, and particularly buildings with character and buildings that are a bit of a landmark. It really gets me up in the morning, and that's what I love to do.
It is an ambitious project, and I'm told by the engineers that it's a very challenging task to strengthen the building at the same time as keeping everything intact. And so we've been extremely fortunate, LT McGuinness and their expertise and love for the project, but also we've been blessed with the expertise that we've had from engineers who are probably the best seismic engineers in New Zealand as the peer review people.
With the church, all the structure is exposed, and so to replace or strengthen these elements is very difficult because you need to make sure that historic and heritage-wise that you make it look very similar or the same as what it was before.
And whilst my part is more to make sure that I hide the engineering or incorporate it so that no one really knows where we've been, it's been a challenge that the whole office has risen to. Everyone out in the studio has worked on it, and they've all added their little piece.
The problem here we have the lead, which is the perimeter of the stained glass, has been cut to the heart, and virtually we've got glass and concrete, and we have to use tools to try and get this off, and it really is a dangerous thing for the stained glass, so we have to be extremely careful at this point. This is the tense moment when we're using tools right next to a fragile material. So yeah, it's extremely worrying.
For us, the stained glass windows, they're invaluable really. There isn't really an option to replace them, and so what we're doing here is just monitoring the adjacent stained glass windows as we're completing the demolition. So we've put some perspex over the stained glass. Just enables us to keep an eye on things as we saw cut and demo out the chase for the new portal. And everything went really, really well actually. Plan B would have been to remove them, but the work involved, even with removing a single stained glass window, is quite extensive and very expensive as well. So we're very pleased with the outcome that we've been able to keep them in place throughout the demolition. Oh, excellent team, yeah. Some of the company's best chippies are on site and a great team of subcontractors, and so a few more to join yet, but it's going to be an excellent team on site. It's been a learning curve in terms of the unique challenges that this job will face, dealing with 100-year-old drawings for old obstructions and things like that, and making sure you meet all the archaeological requirements as well. And just doing everything really carefully and thoughtfully out of respect to the nature of the building, really.
Right up on the platform we've got two massive outriggers that hold the actual arch bit up. Otherwise, when they cut it, the arch will fall down. So there's a lot of work to go on the outside of this wide around scaffolding so the men can get up and down. With it all up, they reckon about 15 tonne sitting on 4 wheels. So this is what I'm working on at the moment, getting it cut to action and then weld it all up.
Well, we'll try to get the whole frame over on this side here. As you can see, we just put all those tracks in today. So we really want to move the whole lot this way and put the crane on that side of it, so we can start lifting all the those cross braces goes across. And then I'm happy tomorrow start peeling the scaffold up, put the other tracks on, keep on pushing, right down to where we start from that end. So yeah.
So we're shifting the gantry along one beam, and then we're going to get set up for the next beam. So hop it over, one more shift, and lock it into place. That's the final positioning. So all the lockdown bolts, angles, and track sections and things are all ready. So. The gantry, the whole sort of gist of the gantry is that it supports the top section of the portals. The gantry basically just supports the apex of the arch while we're doing that, and the gantry is a bit of a blank canvas at the moment, so there's lots of other things that we'd like to utilise it for, and they'll become more apparent as we get up there and start the work. So we're slowly getting out of the ground in the first stage, a couple of lifts of the shear walls complete, and now we start heading up, which really is the challenging part of the job.
Yeah, we're just weatherproofing. At the moment, our channels, we've removed the roof. We've cut holes in the roof to get solid blocking down to our purlins, in which you can see these marks here now. Then our LVL beams will go in and we'll screw a big long 600mm screw through these blocks into our existing purlins, which need to be supported while we demo out this portal. And so that's what we're up to, yes. Hey, we'll put these LV in, we'll start so I can techie them together and we'll begin on this side, eh?
So basically what we're doing here is each time we work on a portal, we need to open up the roof to gain access to the top of the concrete. Part of the strengthening is to place a large beam over top, like a new truss, spanning from one side to the other, and that'll be bolted right the way through the existing portal. So what we're doing at the moment is we're just scoping out the reinforcing locations. So we can drill all the way through and try and minimise the amount of steel that needs to be drilled through. So we're just getting ready, and it looks like it's quite, there's actually a bit more steel than what we thought, which, it's a good thing. It's just another little challenge for us. So we've chased this out for the new portal location. Using a wall saw, we've cut a chase out of the existing portal, and this will be where new reinforcing steel and concrete is formed to the same shape, and it'll essentially replaces the portals. And quite an interesting find is the internal downpipes that we've discovered there. This has enabled us to get rid of it and get the full strength of the portal back with the new concrete. So what we'll start doing now is we'll keep a limited amount of this existing reinforcing, but mostly replace it with new reinforcing with up to sort of modern day specifications and much stronger concrete, and with a large steel beam truss over the roof as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at here.
We've poured our first part of the column up to the rings, and now we've had to form the archway, which was a tricky element because it's such an intricate shape, and that sort of tucks in there. So what we've done is sort of a simple method really. We've used laminated ply to create this curve, and we've also used poly rubber, which has helped us get the internal round of that archway. We're lucky we've got some quite skilled guys on site who've been able to sort of recreate this archway section. So the final stage here now will be just rendering the old to the new. This new concrete will get a light coat of plaster just to bring that nice smooth finish into the new concrete. This connection here has got several starters, sort of steel reinforcing bars, which are connected into this old concrete here as well, just to get a nice key. So after putting this form together and locking it all up, we pour the concrete, and then at the end of the day it should look like this, which has come up great really. We've got a great finish on that concrete. You couldn't get any better, I think. Obviously the engineers have put a lot of thought into this reinforcing going back into this column and portal, and it's quite an intricate steel setup actually. It's one of the trickiest I've ever worked on. All put together, it's quite a robust column now, which I'm sure everyone will feel a lot safer being in this church with the amount of steel in these columns.
Square metres, 50 cubic metres going in here actually. 50 cubes was what was booked for today's pour, so apart from maybe 2 or 3 cubic metres outside in the piles, the rest of it's in this ground beam here. Mighty significant by the looks of it. We'll have that top of that steel there at the high rate. We'll have the top of that steel at the halfway mark.
Well, we're just about to go up and have a look at us completing the first portal completion. So we've got one last pour to do, which the pump's all set up for, so it's exciting times. And once this is all finished and poured, we'll be able to move the gantry and get onto the second one. So, yeah, I mean, we've learned a lot. It's an understatement really, and it's really cool because we've been learning ways to innovate and make the process quicker, and
hoping to really nail down the program so it's all efficient. And, so it's a learning process.
Well, that's the first portal, completely poured with concrete. It's a bit of a milestone really today. We've finished with concrete. Now all the guys can take a step back. We've got to let this cure for 2 weeks, and then we're going to move on to the next one. At this stage, we're pretty happy where the project is heading. All our systems we've put into place are working, and we've worked out ways of doing things quicker and more efficiently. So obviously with this first portal, there was a lot of learning involved with our systems, but now that we've done it, we know there's ways to make it more efficient, and we're happy with how it's all worked out to date.
It is a special project. The church is unique, and really it's not a replica of another modern building or something. It is unique, and to work on it really is special. Yeah, you do think about it, late at night, and did I get that right, or is that going to go well, or things like that. But at the end, I think we'll be really pleased that we've done it, and really prolonging the church's life for hopefully many years to come.
Here at St Mary's, it's a pretty special building really. It's got a great vibe. It's used as a place of worship for 100 years now. It's a great place of community. It's a very special building with a lot of cultural heritage and a lot of heritage value. So it's a privilege to work on this building.
So I think the story of St Mary of the Angels has always been a test of faith, and this current project will probably be the biggest test of faith. But I believe that because people love this building so much, I think that people will rise to that challenge.